Hello and welcome to this week's roundup of the week's biggest happenings in music, entertainment, and pop culture in Niger and beyond. My name is Jamima Diamondi and I'll be your host. Stay tuned as we get into the stories that have had you talking. In the news this week, one of the things we've seen really trend is the Okocha family drama. Now, for one thing, Mr. P has come out and he has said that there is a $3.2 million fortune that was made by the group P Square when they were together, and that he has not seen his due dividends in it. He has allegedly brought forward screenshots that he says are EFCC reviewed, and he says that while they were together, there was all these transactions taking place and he did not know about them until just recently. Jude, his brother, on the other hand, has come out to refute this, and he says this is not the case. He says that rather, Mr. P is the one not presenting the full story and that he is swaying matters to look innocent to viewers and audiences. Now, between the money and an alleged property in Atlanta, which is co-owned by all three brothers, there has been a lot of back and forth with Mr. P even releasing an 8-part series, just with the most recent one dropped today, talking about how he is being sidelined in this whole thing and how the public needs to take note of it. The public, on the other hand, are asking why it is being brought to them and what is expected of them to do about this whole situation, and also taking sides between all three brothers and defending who they feel is correct in the whole issue. Now, there have been no real confirmations that are solid, but the lawyer of Jude has come forward also to say that this matter should rather have been taken to court instead of being brought and turned into a public spectacle. Because as things are now, the legacy of P Square is being sullied, and the whole thing has made the beauty of the group that audiences fondly remember them for to really be lost. Now, also in music news, Davido is making waves for something that has nothing to do with music. Rather, he's trending for politics. What has happened is Davido has been appointed the youth campaign leader for his uncle, Governor Adeleke, and from there he began being involved in the issues that are taking place around his uncle. Now, it's alleged that he, in speaking to a gathering, said that there is an Imo State politician who might influence the current state of elections in Osun State, and he has said that rather people should push for a free and fair election. Now, while he didn't mention any names, audiences quickly picked up some clues, and they came to the conclusion that the person being spoken of is actually Governor Uzodimma of Imo State, with him being the most likely person given his position. The governor has come out and said that instead of Davido pointing these allegations against him, that he should rather speak to the Osun State electorate, as they are the only ones that can really decide who becomes the next governor. He has also stated that the reason that Davido's uncle might not win is purely based on him and his apparent failed government. Now, people are going back and forth as to why Davido is even involved in this politics and whether he should have a say in how things go forward. Now, taking music internationally, we have the Tyla controversy. So Tyla was due to come into the country as part of her A-pop tour for a concert. But with the way things have gone with the xenophobic attacks in South Africa of Nigerians, many Nigerians stated that she would not be wanted here at all and that her Lagos concert might actually be a bad decision. Many threats were made, actually, by Nigerians online, trending ones, and they had said that if Tyla were to come into the country, that she might not be safe and received well due to her silence about what's going on in South Africa currently. Now, with all that had gone on, it's not crazy to see why Tyla would not want to come into the country, given that. So when fans found out that she cancelled her tour spot coming to Lagos, it is clear to see why she might not have wanted to come, but many Nigerians are calling it cowardly and are saying that her approach was not the best because she did not come forward to give an official statement of any sort, either defending the Nigerians who are receiving violent threats and xenophobic attacks in South Africa, or otherwise, but simply removed Lagos from her tour spots altogether. Now, there has been no official statement from Tyla up to this point, but it does seemed clear that Nigerians are not happy with how things have played out. In other news, Portable is making waves again. Apparently, he was scheduled for a rematch, boxing match between he and Charles Okocha, and during the match, which was supposed to be a resolution to their past match in which Portable won, he was said to have left the ring multiple times, either to talk to his fans or do other things unrelated to the match at all. And due to this, he was said to have forfeited the match, and Charles Okocha is said to have become the new winner. Now, in being judged for his actions, Portable did come out to say that he was allegedly assaulted by Charles in the ring, that he was bitten, and other things might have taken place. But fans are unsure what to really believe because of his track record and the way things looked in the videos. Now, there have been no official statements made, but in the meantime, the jokes have been rampant and people have been calling Portable a runaway from the match, saying he was actually scared of the possible outcome and that's what led him to flee. And now, in the happiest wedding that has had the internet buzzing all week, we have Jarvis and Pella in their traditional and court weddings having taken place just this week. Now, their celebration was on such a huge scale. We saw actors, influencers, and celebrities of every sort coming in ready to celebrate them because of their fame and what they represent. And their gifts were said to run into about 420 million naira because of all those they had come out to celebrate them. Now, among these gifts, we had Cubana chief priest coming out with an alleged 10 million naira, and we had an American streamer also coming out with $20 million to honor the couple. Altogether, the gifts were said to equal about 420 million naira, notwithstanding the house he was said to have been gifted as well. The couple certainly celebrated in style, and there is a lot to be said for the grandeur of a TikTok wedding. Now let's go on a break, and when we come back, we'll deal with BBNaija and all the conversation around that. Welcome back. Now let's talk BBNaija. Now, the 11th season has officially kicked off, properly named Show Yourself, and as far as what we've had so far, there has been a lot, despite us just being about to enter week 2 now. Now, amongst one of the things that people are really talking about, there is the Gambit, which Flora and Aiku were selected as, leaving a lot of their fans very disappointed because despite the fact that these two will now get the chance to get to the end of the show, being Big Brother's inside people in the house, they now have no chance to win the grand prize of 160 million naira. A lot of fans, though, are trying to comfort and reason with the situation, saying that instead, they might be able to win other prizes along the way, including the big car prize towards the end. But fans are just not having it, who really wanted those two to possibly be the winners. A lot of people are also saying, though, that knowing how Big Brother's tricks do go, it could get closer to the end, and Biggie could decide to overturn the whole thing altogether. But I guess that remains to be seen. Now, getting to the favorites, we have Chimsom Chuka, who was actually the first head of house altogether of the season. A lot of fans have been rallying behind him, and a lot are even electing him to be the possible winner of the grand prize. One thing that has upset people about this current head of house is the fact that although they are given the title, they are not given access to the luxury lounge. But it remains to see if that will change either. The current head of house is Sheba, and she is also one of the big fan favorites. Now for her, she has been seen being a big leader and influence in the house, including a time where she actually de-escalated a situation between Cassie, Temi Nkem, and Bluetopia, which would have turned into a big deal. But she came in and she reminded everyone that, listen, we're all trying to focus on the prize, and these kind of arguments get us nowhere and don't really matter. Fans have seen that as a big sign that she's actually built to be a leader and are rallying behind her even harder because of it. On ships that are also floating, fans have been majorly talking about Barry and Nietzsche and how he served her allegedly breakfast in bed and whether they're going to become the new it couple. A lot of people started shipping for them and saying that they could be endgame, but I guess that remains to be seen. More on ships, we have Kamsi and Gerard, who a lot of people were also voting to end up together. But Kamsi has apparently broken hearts, coming out to say that he might not be her type. Some fans are also shipping for her and Gerard to be together, but she also doesn't seem very positive about him. Altogether, some fans are also saying that this season has been very slow and things haven't picked up enough and ships are not floating the way they should have been. But others are contradicting them and saying it's just the first week, like maybe there's a bit too much pressure on all that needs to happen in such a short period of time. And I suppose we'll see whether these get to the next level or not.